Hi again. So, look, if you're new to all this law of attraction stuff, or if you just sort of heard about it after The Secret, you're probably wondering the exact same thing I was wondering 6 or 7 years ago, and that is, does this really work? I mean, can I really have anything? Can I really do anything? Are there limits to this? Is it all about the money, or can I have relationships? Can I have happiness? Can I have health? The problem with the answer is it just sounds too good to be true. It sounds so pie in the sky, and I totally get it. And I think that that was one of the things I resisted about this whole conversation for so many years, is that it sounded great, but where's the science? I mean, it's one thing to say we live our lives by design, and you can hear about the law of attraction, and you hear people say, what you think about, you get more of, and yet what you're thinking about is money, but you're getting more debt. How does that work? Well, the fact of the matter is, in that example, when you're thinking about money, you're probably thinking about what you don't have, what you feel like you need. And you're sitting inside of this very strong feeling of lack. And that's really how most of us attract. We attract our experience by default. We have all of these limiting beliefs that we've collected over the course of our lifetimes through no fault of our own. It's just something we picked up from our environment, or watching our parents, or watching teachers. And it's part of our energy system. Now, one of the things, we talk about energy, and we talk about vibration, and we talk about resonance, and we talk about all these sort of esoteric, intangible things. And clearly, if that's a new conversation for you, it's going to be hard to get your arms around. And I get it. That was the exact place that I was. So I was in a space in my life where I was $70,000 in debt, and I had no job, and I was desperately trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. I knew I wanted to work at home in terms of career, and I wanted to be able to spend time with my family and all of this. And I had tried so many things, so many little business ventures. I had read various things about creating your life by design, but the law of attraction was really the piece that was missing. And even when when I first heard about these concepts, I could get it on an intellectual level, but I still needed more. I needed more science. I needed proof. And I think that's probably where many of you are. But when you understand the nature of energy, when you get an education on how this universe works, to the extent that we understand it, I mean, I would certainly never assume that even our smartest scientists have got it all figured out, but we do know enough to understand that everything in the universe is energy, including our thoughts, and we do have control over energy by just the way that we project our emotions and so on. And what I would ask you is this. Since the basic premise of what we're saying here is that your predominant thoughts and your predominant feelings determine your experience of reality, when you look around at your life right now, even if you don't really like what you see, you have to be honest with yourself. What are your predominant thoughts? Do your predominant thoughts support what you're seeing? Not what you're saying that you want, but what are your real thoughts? If you look around and you have money problems, for example, isn't that pretty much your predominant thought? I mean, how much time are you actually spending a day feeling wealthy, generating a feeling of abundance inside of yourself? Probably not much, because you don't know how. How can you do that if you're surrounded by evidence of debt, right? Well, that's one of the things that we teach you in the program. What you're dealing with there is something called resistance, and it's just an energy system that shows up as your negative beliefs and negative thoughts and feelings and issues of I don't deserve it or whatever. And you've really got to get a handle on those things. Once you do, you're going to start seeing some major changes. Now, again, I understand that right now, if this is a new conversation to you, that you may not believe a word I say. And I understand. But I'm inviting you to get a little educated on it. The material in this free area will get you started for sure. And then if you really want to get deeper into it, we have the Wealth Beyond Reason program. And that's really where, when I got my aha moments, it was from various resources that explain the science and so on. And I gathered all those things together and made them the core foundation of the Wealth Beyond Reason program. So everything that made all my lights come on, my left brain, analytical, skeptical lights come on, is in the program, if you're interested in really getting into it. But this is a great place to start. The free area here, we have a good basic education on the law of attraction. You'll learn about resistance. You'll learn about ways to deal with resistance. And then If you want to, you can click one of the links and see sort of the video demos of what the full program is about, if that's something that calls to you. But to answer your question, does this really work? It's working right now. If the it you're asking about is the law of attraction, it's at work right now in your life. It isn't something that you activate. It's something that's always going on. However, it is something that you can learn to work more in concert with, to be deliberate about. And as skeptical as you may be, or as much as you think I'm full of it, as you might, I would ask you to ask yourself this question. Is your current belief system working for you? Your idea that this is all nonsense, how's that working? Is it increasing your wealth? Is it increasing your happiness? If it's not, then I would say, well, why don't you just try this on? Just try some of the things we're talking about, but really try them. Not just visualize something and then if it doesn't appear, give up. Not just throw up a vision board or make a list of the things you want. If it doesn't appear, give up. I'm talking about really understanding how this works. Because without that understanding, it does sound pie in the sky, and it is just a bunch of theory. It isn't magic. And it doesn't happen overnight necessarily, depending on your starting point. The Wealth Beyond Reason program is for people who are really serious about getting a handle on this and making powerful change in their life. Getting educated, understanding, filling in those blanks. So take a look around here. If you have questions, ask. And then if you feel so inclined, join us in the Wealth Beyond Reason program and really watch your life change. I promise that it will.